Come back to Mishawaka for some home cooking, whether you're out late at night or up early in the morning. Featuring Dog and Suds root beer, iconic cupcakes, homemade biscuits and gravy. The Iconic Cafe, 215 North Main Street, Mishawaka.
Every Thursday night, 9 p.m., Iconic Cafe hits the digital radio airwaves with the best in home interviews and cooking. Be sure to check out Iconic Cafe Mishawaka Facebook page for upcoming and archive shows. Now that's iconic.
All right, welcome. Hey, Iconic Radio. This is Bruce. Our great guest tonight is Mr. Jimi Lovitt. Jimmy, how are you doing tonight?
Excellent, Bruce. Always good to be here.
Yes, thanks for coming out in the cold weather. We got to pay the bills first for Bill, so we're going over XCR's weekly events. Phoenix Grill tonight, Open Jam. You can catch Bill down there. He just left here. Friday night, it's Soul Function. And Saturday will be a great show with Elwood Splinters Blues Band. 5 Star tonight has Open Jam. Friday night, The Recent. And Saturday will be Jager Bomb Prom with Shock Roxy. Cheers Pub will have Open Jam featuring the band Elysium, if I pronounce that right. Friday night, Simple Crush. And Saturday, My Dirty Valentine with the Brick House Burlesque Group. And also at Cheers Pub on Sunday, February 15th, Bridge to Grace with So Southbound Fearing, Praise the Fallen, and Unforsaken. And, of course, Rock's Sports Bar is just open for your entertainment. So that's what we'll have on that. I want to thank, too, Ken Price of Wildwood Records. He was our guest last week. It was a great show. That is archived on our Facebook page, Iconic Cafe. So check out Ken's great thing, and he also had his record show, which was fantastic. So, all right, we're getting ready to start. Jim, why don't we start out with the McNeese Scholarship, which I think is a great thing you do for people, and we'll go with that.
Yeah, we just had our first one here just a few weeks ago. It was a great turnout. Our winner was a young man named Quinn Kelly, 13 years old, from Sturgis, Michigan, and he wrote an essay all about the bass. Excellent. We had some really good ones that were turned in, but his, our committee picked him, and he showed up, and I'll tell you, it was wonderful. We had the McNeese family. We had Stephan, the grandson, presented the award, and also Carol, who's Mac's daughter, was there, and her husband Marty, who managed McNeese for several years. He started when Mac got sick with the Legionnaire's disease, and he took over there and worked there for a while, and just a wonderful presentation. Really just all come together, and this young man will be learning the bass from, the fantastic Joe Feingold.
I think it's great what you do for the community, and also that, and these lessons, it's, I think there's 24 lessons in total, is that correct?
Yeah, he gets 24 lessons, half-hour lessons. He's going to be doing some, since he drives from Sturgis, he'll be doing a couple double lessons, when the weather's bad, and and I'll tell you, he's really progressing. He wants to learn his instrument, and it's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, it is. It's great. And then I was at the last thing you did at Trips. You had a benefit fundraiser, and you're talking about having another one maybe in March coming up?
Well, the swap meet will be in March, but the next one we haven't really planned. We'll probably plan after the next swap meet when we'll do a nice little jam thing to raise some money. Everybody donates something. Matter of fact, you donated an item for it, and tell you, raffle them off, have a good time. I tell you, there was a wonderful host there at Trips. Jeff and his staff, just wonderful place there. Of course, Jeff has ties too, working at McNeese for many years, and it just all came together.
Oh, I know. It was a blast. In fact, I'd like to do a live radio remote from there, the next one. I think that'd be great.
Oh, it would be. I tell you, we had a really nice turnout, some great performers. Mel Williams performed with, I think, all his bands that night. So, and of course, legendary, Fred Balbo was there, and of course Joe and his bandmates and several other great musicians were there, and all for a good cause.
Yep, and Trips is a great bar to do that. It's wide open. You got pool tables, and like you said, great service, and it was really neat just seeing all different musicians get up throughout the night, and everyone really played together well, and it was really a great time. I'm looking forward to the next one.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. I think maybe do one, maybe two of them there. It's a wonderful venue. It's kind of an undiscovered treasure there in Mishawaka, but I'll tell you, it's good people and a good place to go.
If people want to donate, too, they'll just come out to the co-op if they can bring something.
Yeah, just bring something out to the co-op. Musical instruments are always good, but then, common everyday items. We also, I've got another store on Franklin Street. We still kept that open. We can sell them there. Or also, we set up at the VFW. They have a big sale. I think it's... just after winter time, we did very well with donations there, and just as long as item not too big, or we don't have to feed it, and it's not illegal, just give me a call first,
That was my next one, the pet cat coming. Hey, you got Ken Price. You got records at your store of his. But what a great guy. We had a great interview, went out to his show. Why don't you tell a little bit about what you have, the LP section at your
yeah, it's wonderful. Ken's been bringing stuff in for years. He first started out with just, your normal, his... regular stock, the ones that, the commons, the $3 ones. And now that we've got more space and we've been selling some higher priced ones, what he likes to call it show stock that he normally would take to the show, some nice vintage ventures and, some really cool stuff. Because we have a lot more room. And I have another friend that used to have a record store in Kalamazoo. He's got a couple thousand in there too. So it's we got Ken, and I also bought out a few a friend of mine's collection. And sometimes if somebody has just got a few LPs with them and not big enough for Ken to mess with, I usually pick them up there and put them in there. And it's we've got a turntable there if you want to try them out, and really, really nice. The table will sit down and look through the 45s, and vinyl is just, I'm really making a great resurgence and some great music.
Well, and that's what Ken was saying, and what I didn't know, he said vinyl never really left. I mean, they still produce it. There's just not a lot of factories, I guess, that can make it now, where in the past there was. But at your store too, you can spend hours in there, and it's a separate kind of room. And like you said, there's a table, real relaxing, and you can pick out what you're looking for. So always impressive with that. All right. Next, I know we got a bunch to talk about. We'll get back to Memories of McNeese here. You said Marty was in, and a little bit about him, too, because he used to work with Mac, right?
Yeah, he had, when Mac got sick with the Legionnaires thing, and I guess the current manager, I didn't know him, and somebody told me his name. I said, I didn't know him, but I guess he left for some reason I don't know, but then we really had nobody to step up that had the experience to step up. So Marty had he'd worked at Templin's. I believe it was Templin's in Elkhart there. Pretty sure he'd worked there. Yeah, it had to have been Templin's, but he'd worked there and had some management experience there. And he stepped in and took over as manager there, and worked there for many years. Until Mac got back on his feet and was able to come back and take over. And then Marty got an excellent job with Yamaha and worked as a rep for them for many, many years for returning to Elkhart.
Yeah, and you talk too, we're going to talk more about it, but he's got some great timeline information, about Mac's history and stuff. So hopefully we can get him on the show.
Oh, yeah, like I say, matter of fact, he just lives a few blocks away from the co-op right there in Elkhart. Really, really nice guy. I teased him a little bit about, when he came in there, that kind of put the cahoots on me coming in on Saturdays and, tipping a few with Mac there. But he said, nah, it really wasn't him. That, after Mac had the Legionnaires, that, he kind of calmed down on the, the drinking a little bit, And I said, oh, boy, I'd blamed you all these years.
It's crazy. Mac never mentioned he had that, Legionnaires or anything. I mean, but that just wasn't him either, So.
Oh, no. I tell you, it's one tough dude, just a great businessman, and I tell you, business was first, but I tell you, I heard, so many stories about him, taking care of the musicians and stuff, so I tell you, you wouldn't tell about his personal stuff like that being sick.
All right. Hey, we ran over a little break here. We got little Del Shannon for you. We'll be back. Iconic Radio. All right, we're back on Iconic Radio with our guest, Jimi Lovitt. I'd like to have a big shout-out to Adam Nelson. Of course, Adam is the designer of our menus, and he also helps out with the radio show, and he does a great job. He's got some promotions, too, coming up, which I'll talk about a little bit later. But always, Adam, thank you. And next week, too, our guest will be author Tom Russell. He'll be back on, and he's bringing a guest with him, so it'll be a good show. So, Jimmy, back, of course, we have great conversations when we're off the air, and one I brought up was the FMIC, which is Fender, and they're starting to sell off their assets, and I know you know a lot more about this. So what's going on with that, with Fender?
Yeah, they've been selling off quite a bit of the, they sold Guild last year. They sold all their drum holdings just recently, and actually with the drum stuff, they threw an ovation with that there, and then just recently, it was not a real shocker, but Jam Industries, a big Canadian wholesaler, ended up buying the rest of KMC, which originally was Cayman Music, which used to own Ovation, but they'd already sold the Ovation off in the drum deal, which is kind of strange, but it's a whole strange deal. And Jam Industries had just bought the Davitt and Hanser, a big distributor. Actually, Davitt and Hanser split into two divisions, their regular accessories and things like that, and they kept BC Rich and custom amps, but they sold the rest to Jam, and they've been buying up some major companies here, and they're now the big players in America.
And and we were talking too. Why did Fender buy all these different companies in the first place? I mean, weren't they just good having the guitars and the amps? I mean, back in the heyday.
I don't know. When some big business, they get big heads, and they just start buying everything in sight, and they just have a very good plan for it, and it's costing them in the long run. And we had the big monster recession. A lot of their suppliers, not their suppliers, but their customers, weren't paying their bills on time. Most of the big boxes, gave them, either no pay or slow pay, and they had to make a decision. Start selling off, and now, of course, the custom shop, you can buy direct from there, and you can buy anything in the regular catalog direct from Fender now.
Yeah, so it's kind of went internet is what it went on that and stuff. So I don't know, is that good? I mean, where you can just call in, pick out what's your guitar. Do you think that's a good business sense?
Well, it's it's about the only choice they have. But they still have their some of the big boxes, your Sam Ash and your Sweetwater that pay their bills on time. I'm sure they'll still be Fender dealers. As long as Fender they're selling what they call MAP price. That they set a price that you're not supposed to. The minimum advertised price. The dealers, they can't. You can sell for anything they want, but you can't advertise lower than that price. So as long as they're honoring the MAP price, their dealers in good standing should be all right, at least in the foreseeable future.
Are they coming out with new guitar? They got such a. For a while, they had so many different styles and all that. Are they like Gibson, downsizing? Trying to get back to just having 4 or 5 just great guitars?
Not so much, because the custom shop is a really big thing where you make the guitar the way you want it. Their basic models, they're just CNC machine, but the custom shop, you get your, some actual quality in there. Not to say that their stock models aren't, quality. For a CNC made guitar, they're very, very nice guitars. But get into that nice upper end custom stuff and have them make them the way you want them. Now you're talking.
Yeah, you're talking about handmade. I mean, cutting the wood out, by hand, the neck and everything. I mean,
well, some of them, the custom shop use stock necks, or they've altered them, and obviously you've got to get away from the basic CNC bodies, but most of them start out that way, and I'm sure they can do some custom work to them.
Now, when you mean CNC, help me out here. That's just computer.
Yeah, just your machines that cut them, like you have in a lot of your factories around here. But they've got them that mass produce the guitars.
For pickups too. Do you think they hand wind any pickups?
Yeah,
anymore?
They're custom shop or hand wind. Matter of fact, the lady that made the really high end pickups for them just retired. I think last year. But I guess, she's had been training people for all these years, but I guess she's been there for, God, forever, and this one lady, and it got to the point where, only her ones went into the high-end pickups.
Yeah, speaking of pickups, there's always the mystique that back then they overwound them, underwound them, and, that's how they got that sound back in the 50s, I guess. 50s. Do you think that's true with it? How that sound was so unique.
They probably had. Remember they didn't have the machines and stuff they have now, and most of your better pickups are they have to be hand wound anyway. But I'm sure that there was something that they didn't let on to the general public, unless maybe an extra this or. But I'm sure most all those have been dissected, taken apart, and copied.
At the co-op, you got pickups too. Do you build any there, or anyone?
Oh,
does?
no. That's an art in itself. Making your own pickups. That's definitely something that really got to know what you're doing. I've heard of people doing it, but some master craftsmen, but. That's something I wouldn't attempt.
Well, when you're building your guitars, then what pickups do you use? Do you just get some Gibsons or Fenders?
Whatever. Usually, we've got a good selection of good used ones, and every once in a while, I'll order something in new. And there's just so many good pickups out there, and I like to try different ones, different combinations. But we do have some used Gibson and. Some nice vintage pickups that I'll try and throw in one of the reanimators.
Hey, when they put the meter on it, they're trying to find the volts or whatever. Do you know what's a good thing to have on that if you're buying something?
Oh, there's different
OHMs or whatever.
The ohms. Yeah, there's different ways of thinking on that. You like for the rhythm pickup, they usually like a higher, hotter pickup, and then maybe for the lead pickup, something with 6 or 7 ohms. But there's guys that are really, really more into that. I just kind of follow some of the guidelines and to put them in mind.
Hey, do you still got that Jimi Hendrix Strat?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's a reverse Jimi Hendrix.
Right, which I thought was really neat. Now, what pickups did he have in that, or did you take that apart?
Oh, God, what were those? Duncan. They were a couple higher-end hot Duncans. There were three different ones that he'd altered. The front and the back were both Duncans. Oh, I can't remember the model. They must make 1,000 different models. And the middle pickup, he told me what it was, but it had the extra magnet on it, but it's pretty cool. You just got to listen. I've got a picture of it on my Facebook page, the pickups and stuff, but really, really good combination of pickups.
And in fact, why don't you let people know how to get on your Facebook page, because there's some great stuff on there.
Oh, yeah, just go on Facebook, the Midwest Musicians Co-op, and you can find us right there. Matter of fact, even for my own business, Jimmy's Discount Deals, I post all my deals and stuff there on the co-op page now. It's so much easier.
Yeah, and then there's also Memories of McNeese. You got that Facebook page, too. And you update that all the time, too.
Yeah, always trying to find new stuff, old pictures, or, somebody's got something interesting. Like I put several pictures of the scholarship on there, and then a lot of times people will write some of their memories on there.
Yeah, I think it's great. Well, hey, we're getting ready for break again. What they got going tonight, Phoenix Grill Open Jam, Friday night Soul Function, and Saturday night Elwood Splinters Blues Band. And we'll be back. We got a little Dave Mason for you. Iconic Radio. Be iconic. All right, we're back on the air. I want to finish up our weekly events. 5 Star tonight has Open Jam. Friday night, The Recent. And Saturday night will be Jager Bomb Prom with Shock Roxy. Of course, Cheers Pub, Open Jam will be tonight. Simple Crush will be Friday. And My Dirty Valentine with the Brick House Burlesque Group will be there Saturday night. And, of course, Cheers Pub Sunday, February 15th, we'll have Bridge to Grace with the Southbound Fearing, Praise to the Fallen, and Unforsaken. So, got a couple questions that came in. Jimmy, one of them is, who was the most famous person was at McNeese store when you worked there?
Oh, that's an easy one. I think it was like the first month I was there. Joe Jarmany was a manager there. He was showing me the chords to a song that was on the radio, and the guys that played that song just happened to walk in. Geddy Lee and Neil Peart and there was a guitar player's name, Rush there, but all three of them walked in and spent the whole day there checking out stuff and bought a few items. And nicest guys in the world, especially Geddy. He was just personable and easy to talk to, and by far probably. If Elvis would have walked in the next day, I would still say Geddy Lee and Rush.
So you knew right away who they were? I mean,
oh yeah, they're kind of unmistakable. They weren't really superstars yet, but they were well known.
Wow. So were they playing at Notre Dame or Morris?
I believe Morris.
Oh, wow.
They were
Gosh.
A lot of big bands, played the Morris. At ACC. You had to be on a little different tier back then. And them guys, they'd pack the Morris for sure. But at the time, they weren't quite the ACC material. I'm sure if ACC ever allowed concerts again, they would have no problem.
Yeah, I love those days, man. One week it'd be at the Morris, the next week it'd be at Notre Dame. I mean, I don't know how many shows I've seen, but I know it was a lot, and they were all $5, $6, $7 back then.
Oh yeah, it was. You could. I remember seeing Kansas. $5. And then Alice Cooper at and Kiss, of course, at ACC.
Yeah, Bob Seger. There's a bunch. In fact, do you got any old posters? Do you got any posters at the store of old stuff like that?
No, nothing local. Matter of fact, we had a bunch of classic like Woodstock and some of the old bands. That my buddy Calvin Mullins brought in, and some really cool posters. I don't know if they're reproductions or originals, but they're really some of the old bands in the 50s and stuff like that, concert posters. Of course, a Woodstock, how can you beat that one? But some other cool stuff.
Speaking of Calvin, I saw him on your Facebook page. He brought in some great pictures. Why don't you explain a little bit about that, his bands he's had over the years?
Oh, yeah, he's been playing in bands in Elkhart. I think he's about 65, so, you're talking about, he's been playing since he's a teenager at, in his band Unfinished Business now, excellent band, and, there's several others he was in. I almost have to write him down. He was in so many to remember him, but he's quite a character, a great musician and a collector, and he paints guitars, he works on guitars, and he used to have a collection. He had the entire Beatles stage of Vox amps, and then, of course, the Ludwig drums. He reproduced every item to, and the guitars. And once he got it all together, he sold it.
Wow! But I mean, he got the original versions of that.
Yeah, the original line up, I guess, at the Shea Stadium when, all the Vox amps, all the guitars, the Rickenbacker. Yeah. Matter of fact, in those pictures, he's playing a couple of the Rickenbackers there, the Hofner bass, of course, and the Ludwig drums, and had the exact items, not the original ones,
right,
but still
the
just
same
incredible.
era. Yeah.
Just incredible. He was a Vox collector. He had probably just a fantastic collection of Vox amps at one time.
Wow, are Vox amps still popular? I mean,
yeah, they the older classics, they're a little high maintenance, but a lot of people like the originals. And of course, they're still in business now. They make a really nice high-end tube amp. Kind of gives Marshall a run for the money, not in the same league sales-wise, but very good amp.
You got a lot of amps at the store too, and you got used ones, you got new ones too.
Yeah, a few new ones. Used ones always been our niche. We got a few, a bunch of the smaller Fenders in for Christmas time, and I've got a couple custom amps that the inexpensive ones, but mostly the Marshalls are all used, and several others.
And I think it's great because a new student can come in and get a package with a really good price from you. And like I said, get an amp, a guitar, or a bass. Guitar chords, we talked about that last show, which I think I still love the one I got from you. You can't beat the price on that. Did you get any new products of the guitar chords or any of that in?
No, they're matter of fact, they're getting about another month. They got some new improved models of the guitar chords. Getting another container in shortly, but I restocked, and we've got excellent supply. You can't beat them. They're good quality chords at an unbelievable price. When you buy them in the quantities like that, it's just you just can't match the price.
Oh, I know, and I got some cords that probably cost $29, and you plug yours in and plug theirs in, and it's hard to be discretionary about the difference of it, so, it's a great deal. Too, I wanted to get into, you talked about you want to get someone that's in there with band instruments.
Yeah, that's one thing that we're kind of lacking. We've got the combo, thing pretty well covered. A little lacking in drums, could use some more drums stuff, but really, I think that's something that, being right there in the band instrument capital of the world, it's kind of like, clicks, though, too. The guitar people and the band instrument people, except for like in the days of Woodwind Brass one, really didn't intertwine, you usually had your guitar stores, combo stores, and your band instrument stores. But I would really, right now there's only one place, I believe, in Mishawaka, that the ones that bought big outfit out of Chicago that bought the old... what were they in Elkhart there? The Blessings.
Oh, okay.
Bought Blessings out, and
yeah, it's over on Edison.
Yeah, and they're the high dollar, suit and tie kind of place. I'd like to have somebody, once getting their own business, you can just do it part time. Knows band instruments, maybe knows how to repair them, and get a more down to earth. People. I know they're out there. I just maybe our circles. Of the band instrument and guitar people haven't, intertwined enough, and I'd like to see that happen.
Well, I think it'd be great, especially when you have the scholarship going, and, it'd be great. And I know it's so much to rent a band instrument, and if you can come in and get a nice used one, and then, like you said, move up would really help the kids out. So, yeah, and if you got to get a hold of Jimmy, of course, he's mentioned his Facebook page. If anyone's interested, or February 22nd, you got a planning meeting coming up. You want to talk a little more about that?
Yeah, we got it kind of tentatively set for that Sunday. Unless we get some really nasty weather, I'd like to get a bunch of us together, co-op members, and just people that. And the thing about the co-op, you don't have to be a card-carrying member. You just got to be somebody that enjoys music, a musician. You build guitars. You just like to hear music. Come on down. We got to discuss a lot of things. I posted on the event page. Maybe we'll talk about maybe doing an outdoor concert. Like we're talking, maybe do some more of these shows like we did at Jeff. Trips, and I like to hear other people's ideas. It just isn't me. I'd like to hear other people's thoughts and ideas, and get together, maybe have everybody bring in a dish and maybe do a little jamming afterwards. Who knows?
Well, that was always at the barn, I remember, which was great over there and stuff. So, but yeah, I think the co-op has been fantastic for the community, and it's just really neat you got going. So, all right, we're ready for another break. Going a little cream now, starting out with Crossroads. We're back on our last set here with Jimi Lovitt. Of course, let's go over just a little bit more for Bill. Again, Phoenix Grill tonight, open jam. Friday, Soul Function. Saturday, Elwood Splinters Blues Band, 5-star. We'll have open jam tonight. Friday, The Recent. And Saturday will be the Jagerbomb Prom with Shock Roxy. Of course, Cheers Pub has the open jam tonight with the featured band Elysium. Friday, Simple Crush. And Saturday, My Dirty Valentine with the Brick House and Burlesque Group. So always appreciate the sponsors for XERS Radio and Iconic Radio. You know, again, as we, take off the mic, we get some great stories. And we were talking about you just got a bunch of new gear in. Do you want to let people know what you got coming in?
Oh, yeah, it changes so much every day. It's got a really, really cool Yamaha 12-string. We had a vintage made in Japan Les Paul knockoff that Ross that works there bought the first day, so that's gone. And a really cool Harmony Flying V. Got all kinds of new effect pedals come in. Matter of fact, I've already got it sold, but we actually got a bottomed identical to your Fender Rhodes.
Really?
Just the bottom. And somebody had turned it into a speaker cabinet, and the guy from Chicago called up the other day and I bought that. And I said, hey, I got a full one here if you want that one. He said, let me know. I'll take a look at it. And I got to have the bottom picked up and shipped to Chicago. I said, man, you might as well drive down here and pick it up and then check this other one out here.
Well, what kind of speakers are in it?
It's identical. It had the 4 Utahs. It's identical to your bottom.
Oh, wow.
Except for something had gone wrong with the amper, and they turned it into a speaker cabinet.
Oh, I bet it sounded pretty good.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad at all. It wasn't too bad. I opened it up, and there they were, the 4 original Utahs. And that's, it's got, have to find somebody that wants to restore it. And sure enough, I put it on Craigslist, and next thing you know, a guy from Chicago's calling up and said, man, can I pay you on PayPal and I'll have some, send for it to be picked up. And, of course, me, I tried to talk him into coming down and checking yours out, but it remains to be seen. He hasn't picked it up yet, so maybe he is going to come down.
Yeah, I hope so.
Have a really big sale this weekend.
Oh, definitely. Wow. That's pretty neat, though. Just having the bottom of that for the thing. And then what kind of amp is in there? Did you?
Oh, it's one that, Fender made for Rhodes there.
Okay.
A power amp, and had a pretty good look at it, open it up, and I say it's I would definitely want to tackle restoring it, but it could be something major, could be something minor, but it's like a regular power amp, like you would a Fender, but it's built into that suitcase.
When you go in your store, it's got such a good vibe in it, and you got the guitars up front, the chords, and then the back rooms is what I think is pretty cool. You got the side of the records. You got Ross in the back, and, he's got, sound reinforcement?
Yeah, sound, lighting, and, all the PA gear back there, everything hooked up, so if you want to hear it, you can fire it up, and make a chord for you. If, where I don't have a chord in stock, he can make you a custom chord. And, do a simple tube amp repairs. He doesn't do solid state or anything like that, but basic tube amp repairs.
Oh, that's great, because, there's very few places around here to get tube amp repairs, so that's great for that. And then you also do guitar repairs, right?
Well, yeah, we've got Scott's got to be coming in. Scott Noy's got to be coming in next month, and we can do some minor stuff between me and Ross until Scott gets there. But we can do like a restring it and simple repairs.
I want to go back. I've known you for a long time, and I remember this co-op was just what we used to talk about, and then it became, verbatim into a real thing. Can you explain a little bit how this all came about for people that have their own dreams and want to make it happen?
Oh, yeah, it was a pipe dream. And, back in the days of the barn, I thought, what can we, do like a farmer's market only with musicians and people, that build and sell and, instruments. And I said, boy, this would be a really great idea. The first time, it got a few responses. Ross was about the only guy that really came and, really wanted to make it go. Of course, Joe has always been there, teaching and stuff. He was there from the beginning. And then the second time around, so, we really, when we didn't have the barn anymore, I knew, that was just a little too much high maintenance, and I knew I could never really afford to buy it because the land that goes with it, it's pretty close to $1 million, and that's a little far to go in debt at my age. But anyway, I just, started, after I had, my little illness and stuff there, I really began to focus. It's something I really want to do, and I found a building I wanted and negotiated with the owner and got a year lease with an option to buy and started putting things together. And I tell you, got a lot more people interested this time and still need some more certain areas like in the drums and really want band instruments. But, with the records with Ken and Mike Cagle that brings in the records, that's a very big part of it. And I tell you, it's something, if you really want something, you can almost will yourself to do it if you've got the determination and the will to do it. And it's come together, and I just want to see it get bigger and better and maybe pass it on to somebody in the future. And, the concept to either incubate a business to, come in and work with a co-op for a couple of years and go off on your own, or, stay with a co-op forever. It doesn't matter.
Well, how did you handle the highs and lows of it,
Well, at first I was, a little bit discouraged, I thought that, wow, I got this giant barn here, 7,000 square foot, and I had a lot of gear, and I said, well, I had a lot of, matter of fact, at the time, I had, several sets of vintage drums, and I asked a couple guys, hey, you just come in here and start selling this stuff and, put in a little time, you can have your own business. And nobody wanted, the effort and determination to do it. So I got a little discouraged there. And as time went by there, and I knew that eventually we'd have to leave the barn, and, because it really, really wasn't a good long-term thing. And then it came back. I said, man, we're going to do this. And, I got one more shot. I'm still young enough that we can pull this together and, teach some younger people the business and really keep the strong idea of having an independent music store and independent teachers and just people that love music come together and make it happen.
Any T-shirts coming?
No, I haven't come up with it.
Come on, I'll buy a T-shirt. I'll buy two.
I used to have a machine.
Oh, no? Yeah. You still got it? When
the economy took a hit there, Joe really hated to see it go because we made a lot of band T-shirts for his bands and stuff.
Right.
It was a lot of fun. I wish I could have kept it and stuff, but there was a time we needed to pay the bills and we had to sell it.
But I think it's great, and like I said, it's so good for the community, with the scholarship, and just a great place to come in and just hang out. I mean, you've always been great, answer any questions for anybody, help anybody with anything with the music, and you got such a history of, again, working with Mac, who is such an icon in the music industry, working on your own with all the different independents and stuff. I mean, you got a wealth of knowledge. You got great people working for you, so it's always great to have you on with it. And again, what you got coming up, you said there is a meeting February 22nd.
Yeah, unless we get some nasty weather, we're going to do a little meeting there. And, of course, people don't work for me. They work with me at the co-op. I just want to point that out. Nobody works for me. We work together.
And then you'll let us know, too. Get on his Facebook page when they have another benefit for the scholarship. And, of course, always get on the Facebook. Jimmy always posts what new stuff he's got coming in, and it's always great. So, all right, another great show. We'll have you back in a month or two, Jimmy. Again, want to thank Brenda, as always, for Iconic Cafe, who sponsors the radio show, and a little George Harrison to end it.